Hi guys, and welcome back to a new video. It's been a while, but I'm back. We know why. Drag Race Holland, my god, what a journey. One whole episode. We're not gonna talk about that, but today we're gonna talk about all the burning questions that you've been asking yourself, and also me in my Instagram DMs, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere. And I'm doing that in collaboration with Opera. Now, Opera is a browser that allows you to always be yourself, and they celebrate all sides of you. Now, you asked me a bunch of questions on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, basically everywhere, but the team of Opera also asked me a bunch of questions that they were curious to know as well. So I think I'll just block my brows, put on a wig cap, and do all the boring stuff, and let's just get into this video. So I blocked my brows, I put on a wig cap and did everything to prepare for this video. And in this video we're gonna talk about a lot of stuff. We're gonna talk about my elimination, I'm gonna talk about behind the scenes stuff, we're gonna talk about the controversial Medusa gate, but also about some personal stuff. And Oprah asked me the first question and I thought it was the perfect question to begin this video. Let me read it. When do you feel like you are at your most real? Is Roem a full-on character, and how much does Roem and my boy side have in common or differ from each other? Good question. So if I have to answer this question directly, the difference between me and Roem is that Roem is a lot more powerful, intimidating, statuesque, a little bit shady, a little bit mean, and I'm more laid back. I really don't care. I let everything happen. I'm like, whatever. Drag allows you to be, allows you to show sides of you that you sometimes hide or put on low. So I feel like there is definitely a difference. But also recently I feel like the lines are blurry. Like when I started drag, I felt like there was such a big difference. And I felt like, oh, I'm like a superhero, I know. And then me as a boy was always silent and I was like, awkward. But now I feel like Roem's helped me through that process, and I think I dare to do a lot more stuff right now. No more comfort zones. So today we're gonna do red. I think. I've no clue, but I feel like red. We're gonna do red. So the next question is, how is the casting from behind the scenes? Now, fun question, and I think everyone wants to know this. I was asked, believe it or not, on Instagram in a direct message like, hi, Drag Race is coming to Holland, do you want to audition? Like from this random guy. I was like, is this even real? So I sent a message to Fate and I was like, listen, have you seen this? What's this? But I was also a little bit enthusiastic. I was like, what if it is real? What if maybe there's a chance? Because like there have been rumors about the Drag Race and there even a casting process, I think, in Holland for like years, 5 years, 3 years, I don't know. I was not really thinking that it was gonna happen, but I was like, fine, you know, send me the form, I'll fill everything out. I was like, they're not gonna want me because like I don't have stage experience, I have nothing, blah blah. But if they want me to send a video, it's like, okay. And then I started to get a little motivated. And the video was so much fun, I'll upload it one day. I think you guys want to see that as well. And later I was asked to come to the producer's office in Amsterdam for a little chit chat in front of the camera. They wanted to see how I performed on camera, of course, ask some questions. And then I think there was a little bit of silence. And then I got a call that I was on Drag Race. It was all very surreal. But due to coronavirus, everything got delayed a little bit, and my motivation started to drop. I was like, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen this year. Not gonna happen. Maybe someday, but it's gonna get on hold, and they're gonna do a recasting. And I was like, well. And in that time, also, I moved to a new city. I got together with Fate. So a lot of things happened in my life. Everything got picked up again, and there we go. The following question is also from Oprah, and they asked, where do I get my inspiration for all my looks? Now, I always love answering this question because I love telling about my inspirations and stuff. I get a lot of inspiration from like science fiction movies, like in TV shows like Westworld and Ex Machina and all the cyborg stuff, you know, I love that. I love that. But also like more like avant-garde stuff that I see on Pinterest or whatever. Westworld, I love Westworld so much. Like I love that show. I can watch that show a billion times. I love it. I used to have like notebooks of like sketches and fashion things and face charts and everything from me designing everything. Also like ancient photography, like the old school, like the creepy photographs and stuff, and like reptiles and snakes and spiders. Is that weird? Maybe. Of course, Lady Gaga inspires me, and like it's all basically this mashup of science fiction, futurism. I don't really care about looking like a girl. I want to look like a science fiction character. I want to look like a fantasy character. I want to look like my own superhero. So that's where I get a lot of inspiration from. The next question is, where did I get my inspiration from the promo look from? Like the big blue hair and the golden claws and that stuff, because everyone was obsessed with that look. So for that promo campaign, we got a little briefing, and they wanted us to be royal and also red, white and blue. When I got the call that I was on Drag Race, I was looking forward to this the most. I love the promo campaigns. They're my favorite part of Drag Race. I really don't care about the season. I love the promo campaigns. I love that stuff. So I wanted this look to be like something memorable, because I also feel like people use this image for years of you. But then I came to the conclusion very fast that I wanted to do something a little bit more back in time. I wanted to do this more Baroque Renaissance vibe with like puffy sleeves and like a Marie Antoinette kind of hair. I really wanted to mesh like the past with the future, like I love to do in my Instagram and all my looks. Also be a little bit more creepy with the eye belt. I love that. So I wanted to basically showcase my entire drag in one look, and I feel like I totally done that. People were like, oh, she only did like a bodysuit. Oh, where's the dress? Oh. I even came to the to the promo shoot, and then the stylist was like, so where's your skirt? I was like, I'm not wearing a skirt. I was on a call with the director from the promo campaign, and he was like, we're doing red, white and blue, and a lot of girls are doing red dresses. And I was like, okay, then we're not doing a dress and we're not doing red. The next question is a mashup of 2 questions, and they're asking, how is it to prepare in lockdown? And let me read it. What was it, the other part? How much time did you have to prepare? We basically got like, I think a month, maybe a month and a half, something like that, 6 weeks, I don't know. Fate helped me a lot with like the preparations and everything we did together, but like also there wasn't really much to do. So I got to spend a lot of time making stuff, and I see a lot of the girls are like, oh, designer, everything. I like to put stuff together myself. I love to buy cheap stuff and style it the way I wanted to. It was fun. I listened to Chromatica on replay a lot. I spent a lot of nights, sleepless nights. Sometimes I stayed up to like 6 in the morning to finish stuff. I had fun. The following question is, oh, here we go, juicy tea. Were you aware of the prizes when you were casted? No. See, I talked with Megan about this, and she was like, I emailed the producers 50 times asking if there was a prize money, if there was like something. And they were like, yeah, it's fine, you're gonna get it. We didn't know anything. We didn't know who was gonna host. Well, we had an idea. We didn't officially know that Fred was gonna host, but we didn't know what the set was gonna look like. We didn't know who was gonna be in the judging panel. We didn't know anything. So imagine this, us waking up very early in the morning to do our makeup, everything, do the entrances. It was very early, believe me. Being on heels the entire day. So we were listening to Fred. He was like talking, oh, Land of the Queens, Maxima, blah, blah, water. And then he was like, and there's also this dress from Claes Iverson, and was walked in, and we all looked back, and you could basically hear crickets. And there were like 1 or 2 people who were like, oh. I felt such a disappointment. I was like, this is it. This is what I'm battling for. This is what I spend all the money for. This is what I spend sleepless nights for. If you have followed me on social media, you know what I think about the dress. It's not an ugly dress, but it's not $18,000. The following question is, was there anyone you were hoping to see walk into your workroom? I really wanted to see like, how do I say this, diversity? Like, listen, there are so many great performers of color in the Netherlands that could also have been cast, like Love Nassisi, Vanity Vickers, Lika Lolly, Ivy Elise Monroe. So many people. There are also a lot of other people that I wanted to see in the workroom, like Vivaldi. The one who I didn't expect to walk into the workroom was Pam Pam, because before Drag Race, I was looking up to her. I was like, oh my god, she is like, she can perform, she can lip sync, she can dance, she makes shows, she hosts, she basically does everything. She's like the face for me of Dutch drag. When she walked in, I was like, damn, that's competition. And she was competition for 2 entire episodes. The next question is, whose style of drag were you drawn to the most? And that is Chelseaboy, because we're like these cyborg sisters. We love science fiction, we love a little bit more punk, we love everything. We connect. But also Envy Peru, because Envy is like always this glamorous diva lady. But Envy also has this sci-fi side that she doesn't really show off, and she showed it like, so I was drawn to her as well. And I remember when I was eliminated, she showed me all her runways, and she was like, oh, I'm wearing this, and then she showed me her futuristic runways for episode 7. I was like, oh, I want them all. So the following question is, how were the staff and judges? First of all, the staff, absolutely amazing. Like, I felt like I was at a hotel. These people were so nice. Like, I was like, I need chocolate, and then a little white blonde girl was like, I'll get it for you. I was like, I have to get on the runway in 2 minutes. She was like, I'll run for you. And she was like running through the entire studio. The judges were also fun. Like, some judges were chilling backstage with people, some not at all. Fred was so nice. Like, in between takes on the runway, he was like, girls, and this and that, and blah blah blah. And then the cameras were always like, y'all look so great, like literally. And he was like going by anyone who would say a funny comment or anything. Like, Fred was so nice on set, really great. Ooh, we're getting inside tea. The next question is, when you're watching the show and competing, is there something we don't see? Basically everything. There is so much they cut out of the show, and I'm not here to be like, oh, they cut out so much of the show. Like, that's just their job. They have to they're filming like basically 2 entire days for one episode for like, what is it, 50 minutes, maybe 40, I don't know. And they have to put a narrative in it, and they have to do anything to make it just a great show. Like, they portrayed me as this quiet, silent, calm lady, and I am that, but like, I'm not really like blah, 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 blah. But also, I said a lot of stuff. I did a lot of stuff on camera, and it didn't make it on television, and I don't really care about that anymore. First, I was really bitter. I was like, oh, why is this not on the first episode? I did so much stuff, and blah, blah. But now I'm like, girl, who cares? Like, in other episodes as well, they cut out so much stuff, and that's just their job. The next question is getting a little bit personal again, and they're asking, how was it to be the youngest contestant? When I entered Drag Race, I was like, okay. Drag Race does 2 things. They will portray you in a good light and in a bad light. And I was like, okay, my bad side is gonna be, ooh, I'm the social media queen. I don't have experience in performing and blah, 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 blah. But then, when I came to set, and one of the first questions they asked was, well, who's the youngest here? And I was like, here we go. They portrayed me as this, ooh, I'm the youngest, I don't know anything about drag. And I was like, that's not who I am. But that's obviously the story they wanted to tell. Now, that's fine, that's a reality TV show. But also, I feel like, well, I'm the next generation of drag. I'm the future of drag, what I always tell people. That's the nice part of it. Like I look up to the experienced queens like Sedergine and Envy, you know? But I also feel like I was the face of like the newer generation, and Madam Madness as well. And I feel like if I showed people that drag is more than one thing, more than performing, more than a bingo, more than a dance, a choreography, then my job is done. I'm not really a fan of the narrative they threw on me, like, oh, you're the youngest queen, and because literally it doesn't have anything to do with age. Gigi Good was 21, no excuses. And there was also a question, what was it like being labeled as the social media queen? Well, it's basically the same answer. Nowadays, drag is changing. The camera, we all know it due to COVID-19, the camera is also a stage. It's basically everything you do for a stage performance, but not on stage. Very simple. And it doesn't mean that one is better than the other, but what it does mean is that drag has different sides, and we should appreciate that. A funny question, this is always in Drag Race, always a thing. Is the workroom cold or warm? Listen, we filmed during the hottest part of the year. There was a heat wave going on, and also the studio was so hot. It was this giant black box, so no air conditioning, no windows, no anything, no light. All the heat was trapped in the studio. So imagine us in heels, hair helmets, anything. Girl, it was horrible. My makeup was standing in front of the mirror. I came back from the runways and basically all my makeup was melted. It was that hot in the workroom. It was so hot. It was so hot. Other question is, were you allowed to talk in between recordings? Yes, we were. It's not like America that you're being put on ice. We were allowed to talk to each other. They were like, save some stuff for the camera, of course, because it's TV, you make TV. First you make TV and then do the competition. But it wasn't that forced, you know what I mean? The next question is, what was your first thought when you saw the runway? Girl, one by one we were led the first day, we were led to the workroom behind us to walk into the entrances, you know? And we walked past the runway. Now I saw the runway and I was like, oh my god, it's real. It's like this, it was huge. It was like this giant stage. And later on, all these lights were on the runway. They were testing out the runway. It looked so cool. I thought the two walls were like digital screens, like LED screens. But then when we had to do the runways, turned out it was just cardboard. So I was disappointed. But then again, it's Drag Race Holland. Now, the question of all questions. Next question is, why didn't the producers let you wear the Medusa costume? You basically have to submit all your runway ideas and talk with the producers about all your runway ideas. Like, I want to do this, I want to do that. They were like, do we need to do anything for that? Blah, blah, blah. For the first runway, I had a few ideas. One was the first Queen of Holland, and it was like this baroque giant dress, and like very ancient, very, you know what I mean, very historical. I wanted to do that. But the producer had something to say. It was like, well, technically she didn't name herself a queen, so you can do that. It's like, okay. And you know, that was basically the first time I talked with that producer, because he was like new to the team. I don't know, whatever, I don't really care. But he was like, basically with everything I said, it was like, that's not a queen. So I was like, I want to do Medusa, because Medusa is like my queen. I love the story of Medusa. I love everything it stands for. I love the, you know, the story and the moral of the story. And he's like, yeah, but Medusa isn't really a queen. I was like, well, she's the queen of Gorgons. She's still like the queen of snakes. No. He had all these excuses, and I was like a little bit intimidated, of course, because like, oh, this is the producer from Drag Race. I have to be nice, and I have to say yes to everything. I have no experience in TV, so I did not know how it worked. I was like, all the shady stuff only happens on set, but no, also behind the scenes. Suddenly the queen also had to have a personal connection to you, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, okay, let me do like a futuristic version of like the evil queen from Snow White when he called a few days later. It's like, yeah, this is also like something that because I always wanted to be here when I was younger. So I was like, yeah, also a possibility. But then when I got on Drag Race and saw the other options the girls did, I was like, I think there's some shady stuff going on here. But at this point, I don't really care anymore. People were like, oh, you were set up. I don't really care about it anymore, because if I was destined to be on one episode, I was destined to be on one episode. I don't really care. People were like, oh, you're so bitter. I'm not bitter at all. I was just a bit disappointed in that I had to experience the reality TV experience that quick. And I didn't mean that I was sent home one episode, but the shady stuff, you know what I mean? And also, I just want to say, people were like, but that costume isn't even better than the Evil Queen costume, so why are you complaining? The thing is, for me, drag is not about what you think is beautiful. Drag for me is that I want to feel my fantasy when I do drag. I want to feel like I'm enjoying myself. When that costume came together, I did not enjoy myself at all. And I think that doesn't matter if the outfit is better or whatever, because all these weird standards, But I think that if I had worn my original ID, and if I could have finished the original ID with like the cape that I wanted to do, with like the giant wand and the stone hat and like the chain crown and everything, that I would have had a lot more fun on the runway. Because for me, drag is fun. Drag is not a high fashion and a runway show. But fun fact, now that we're talking about this wasn't the only runway I wasn't allowed to wear things, because for the finale, I was also not allowed to wear something that I really wanted to wear. RuPaul's Drag Race. Thank you. Next. And talking about next, the next question is, let me read it for you. What was it like lip syncing on the Drag Race Holland runway? There are some stories out there that the lip sync had to be redone 3 times. That's not true. I'm not a lip syncer. I mean, like, I would love to do it one day when I feel like I wanted to do it, but right now I feel like I'm not a lip syncer. I was like, let me just have fun. Let me just do whatever. You know, I was also kind of excited. I was like, oh, this is my first lip sync ever. The music suddenly started and they were like, now you have to lip sync. And we were like, what? So it was basically, come on girls, do you believe it? And then it stopped. And we had to do it again. And then the song suddenly started again. Without like, it was like 3, 2, 1, go. And we were like, So I really didn't like that part. I like everything to be scheduled out and told me in advance that what's gonna happen. But again, reality TV, and they wanted to see me under stress and wanted to see how I performed. I already knew I was going home. I watched the first episode in advance and I was like, oh god, this is the worst lip sync for Drag Race ever. But then I watched the other girls lip sync, was like, oh, I'm not that bad. And the next question is, how shocked were the other girls by you being eliminated first? But I don't think it was like the biggest shock, because like, we all knew that my outfit wasn't the best. We all knew that I didn't have lip sync experience. I got off that runway and the girls who were before me, like Sedergine, Janey and Envy, and I don't know, they were just talking and I was like, they were like, how did it go? I was like, I'm lip syncing tonight, probably going home, and that's what's happening. And they're like, well, if it happens, just give everything you got. I'm not saying that I gave everything I got, but I think I put on a great show. It was fun, and yeah, whatever. A lot of girls were like, oh, we really wanted to see like more. Wanted to get to know you, or wanted to see what you got. And talking about that, the next question is, how did you deal with your elimination personally? The thing is, I saw it coming. It wasn't a big surprise to me. I already dealt with it in my head before being sent home. We even had talks with a therapist about it. All the girls were allowed to talk to a therapist in advance, during filming, after filming. A lot of people are always like, if I'm on Drag Race, I would do this or I would do that. But that's really not the case, because being on the show it's like a nightmare and a dream at the same time. It's such a surreal experience. You have to be in the moment. That's the only thing I'll say. You have to be in the moment, and there was so much going on with me. Not just the Drag Race journey, but also personally. So I wasn't really there with my head. And as we know in Drag Race, that's the worst thing that can happen to you. I can't change anything about it. So when I got sent home and watched the first episode, I was a little bit bitter, because I was like, I did so much stuff. I can't believe they cut everything out. I'm the first one to go. I feel like I could have just stayed home. But after seeing all the nice comments and the love from everyone, I wouldn't have changed it for a thing. So the next question is, do you regret something? The only thing I regret is that I wasn't rebellious enough, because I'm always like doing whatever I want, even if people tell me no, and just wore the Medusa costume, because fun fact, I even brought it with me, and that I didn't spend enough time on the right stuff. The Evil Queen costume, I was like, oh, I could have spent more time on that, because I delayed it. I kept delaying. At the end of the day, I can't change anything, so I don't really regret it. I'm happy with how everything turned out. And following on that, Oprah asked me the question, did you learn anything about yourself? Yes, I learned a lot about myself. I learned that, as I said, always stay true to yourself. And not on the cliche way, but just like, don't change yourself for any experience. Don't think, oh, this is what people expect of me, so I have to do that. Just be yourself, because that's people will love about you. At the end of the day, I think what was sending me home was me not being myself truly and fully. So what I learned is just be yourself. The fact that I knew so much about Drag Race in advance, like people always call me like, oh, you know everything about Drag Race, that it also didn't help me. So don't be the Sasha Belle coming like, I know what to do. And I've seen so many episodes of Drag Race. This doesn't only apply to Drag Race, but when you go into something, don't go into it for other people. And I also learned that I have to get out of my comfort zone. Like Drag Race was like this big invitation to get out of my comfort zone. And I feel like if you do that more often, a lot of more opportunities are coming your way. Also for you watching this, get out of your comfort zone. Do it. The following question is, how much time did they give you to get ready? They basically gave you like 2 hours to do your makeup and get your costume on, and then you have to get a microphone and stuff, but that takes a while because all the girls have to get one. And during that time you also get to finish your makeup, so it was basically like 2.5 hours, but that's for a drag queen, that's still way too short of time. This is also a question that's been asked a lot. They're asking, how do they film the confessionals? They film the confessionals like after the episode. So one episode usually takes like 2 days, and then you have a confessional day, or quote day as they say. So I was eliminated, and then I was brought back for like the quote day, and I had to act like I was going to win, and I was having so much fun. Well, I knew that I was going to be sent home a few hours later, while the other girls were gonna finish their Drag Race journey. So yeah, that was not really a fun experience, but well, that's TV. Following up on that is, what challenges, if I got to stay, do you think you would have slayed in the competition? Definitely the musical. Like, I'm not really a dancer, but I love musicals and everything. I love that. Also the acting challenge, I would have slayed that. And Snatch Game, I love that. I had everything prepared for Snatch Game. I was like, I'm gonna do this, but unfortunately I didn't make it, so whatever. Next question is, do they make you stay in your hotel room after you're being eliminated? No, just for one day. Like, I know in America there are like some rumors that the girls are being like locked up for the entire filming, but that's not the case. We're just getting sent home after that. And actually the schedule in the first place was that we weren't even gonna stay in a hotel. We were just going home every episode. The next question from Oprah again is, how hard was it to hide the outcome while promoting the show? Oh, this was so hard. Like, all the people were like, oh my god, Room is gonna be in the top 3, Room is gonna be in the top 5, Room is gonna win. And I was like, yeah, I'm a winner. I already won. Seeing all the people's comments, I was like, oh, everyone really thinks I'm gonna win, but I'm not. That was the hardest part for me. It was just, people had so many expectations, and I was like, I feel like I let everyone down. But seeing all the love you gave me after the episode, I was like, oh, y'all are so sweet. Like, I literally had to spend like, I think, 4 to 5 days reading and responding to messages. I was like, I'm not going to complain about this because this is all love and I appreciate that. The next question is, who did you get closer with during filming? Basically everyone, because I didn't know anyone in advance, except for Madame Madness. I especially got closer with Chelseaboy because we connected with our drag side. I think Chelseaboy and I connected especially after the show because we were like, we're more calm. We don't like to shout a lot. We just like to stay in our own little fantasy bubble. Also, Abby and I got really close during filming, and after filming we traveled a lot together. We also had some nice conversations, like what you saw on the first episode wasn't fully forced. It was like we actually talked about that and it was like, oh damn. And we really bonded on the show. Like, it was so much fun. And the one who surprised me the most was Envy Peru. So when I got out of the water tank challenge, Envy and I were next to each other. She was like, damn girl, this is so much energy. I was like, I know, right? And also when I got eliminated, I feel like, yeah, we really bonded again. But the one who I got close to the most, who I did not expect at all, was Megan Schoonbrood. Because our stations were next to each other and she's such a funny girl. Like, she comes over here and we had gigs together and we had so much fun. When she got eliminated, she called basically every day. Like, that girl is so much fun and I love her. Let me focus on my eyebrows because damn girl, I've been doing drag for 5 years and I still mess them up. The next question is, what would you have originally worn for your finale? It's similar to what I did wear, but it was a little bit different. It had some different elements. I wanted to, instead of going for like this Red Widow vibe, I wanted to go for more like a rising angel. So I had these giant wings. Like, I think they're probably one of the biggest wings in Drag Race. They're here in my makeup room. We can't store them anywhere. And I was going to have horns coming out of my hair, and it's, of course I can't wear that because there were already girls wearing wings and horns and everything, so they were like, yeah, you can't overshadow these girls. I was like, fine. The following question has been asked a lot as well, and it is, would you be interested in returning for a future season? Of course, I think anyone who has joined Drag Race wants to participate again somehow, in any way they can, and me too. Like, I would love to return on Drag Race. If that is in a future season, or an all-star season, whatever, I would love it. Maybe. Yeah. And the next question is, did you steal something from the set? Yes. Basically, if you watch the episode really well, you see that there's a little black IKEA car next to our chairs. And they have all these accessories and like tools on them, like brushes and like, I don't know, nail stuff and like hairspray. And when I got eliminated, I threw everything in a bag. I was like, that's going home. If you want to send me home, you have to pay a price. I didn't want that ugly ribbon to be the only thing memorable from Drag Race. It's like, there is going to be a lot more in my suitcase than I brought. The next question is, what are the differences between the international versions of the show? I think that the Dutch version of the show is a lot more focused on like fashion and like the runways and all that. Because when I was on that runway the first time, I was like, when am I gonna get critiqued on the challenge? It never came to the critiques. So I was a little bit confused. And if you like watch Canada, it's more based around the lip syncs, and I feel like the American version is more based around the challenges. And the UK one is basically like a copy of like the American version, but like UK. So yeah, I think there are a lot of differences. I also feel like the Dutch version is a lot more free. It feels less competitive to me, like, but it could also have been the prize. That's why I went home on the first episode. Everyone thought I was eliminated. No, I went home voluntary because I didn't want to dress. No. The next question is, what is your favorite part of the experience? My favorite part is definitely getting out of my comfort zone, experiencing everything, getting to know the girls, doing all the amazing stuff that comes after that you maybe haven't even seen. Like, basically everything. Like, I have no regrets at all. People are like, oh, you went home first, you're such a loser. Girl, no, I only gained. Like, when are you on television, on Videoland, on a big network, being streamed to like, what is it, like 170 countries, I don't know, with like subtitles all over the place. I didn't lose anything, I only gained, and I'm so happy with that. And the last question of all is, what are your plans for the future? Now, I have a lot of plans, a lot of concepts that I'm still working out. I want to release a lot of stuff, so I don't want to spoil too much. But if you just keep an eye out on my social media, it's all at room service, then you will find it out yourself soon enough, because so much fun stuff is coming, not just me, also with other people, and I think I just can't wait to show everything. And just keep an eye out on my social media for all the updates. Now, those were all the questions. I'll just put on a wig, outfit, everything, and I'll see you in a bit. Now guys, this was the Q&A, and officially the Drag Race journey has ended now. Not because I want to, but because there are a new batch of season 13 girls already coming in, and I'm not relevant anymore. As I said, this video was made in collaboration with Oprah. And now before we go, I want to tell you a little bit more about Oprah. Now first of all, I wasn't interested in changing my browser to begin with. But after seeing their campaign, what they stand for, and all their amazing features, I'm already finding myself trying it out. When you use Oprah to browse the internet, you get this really cool side tabs feature, and they allow you to multitask, which I think is so helpful. You get to browse the internet while browsing on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You even have a music player that you can use, and I think that's such a great feature. They also come with a built-in VPN, which allows you to browse the internet safely and securely without the feeling that you're being watched. They also come with an inbuilt battery saver, and what I think is really important, an ad blocker. I love it. Now, you know that I wouldn't recommend you something that I don't support. So if you are interested in checking out Opera, you can check the link in my description of this video, and you can find all the information that you need. Go check it out. Now guys, this was the Q&A. I think it was such a fun video, and I hope that I answered all your questions. If you still have some questions about Drag Race, leave them in the comments because I will answer them. There is much more fun content coming. I will upload all the makeup tutorials for my Drag Race looks, and just keep following me on social media because everything is coming your way. So if you want to stay up to date to that and don't want to miss any video, go ahead and subscribe. Also, if you like this, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends, family, haters, I don't know. Share it with people. Now guys, I will be here next time and I hope you'll be there too. So, bye bye!